Because our goal is not realism. Our goal is...
What are they going to do about loot goblins?
What makes you say that loot is yours? You know, we're in the dark zone. This is a dangerous place. Who says that kill you got means it's your loot?
Well, you mentioned earlier, like, gun jamming. Is that even a thing? Is that a thing right now? Please tell me it's a thing right now.
It's something we have built into the game, and it's...
Yeah. So Zgilly, when is higher FOV coming?
We've talked about it. I think we talked about this like last year too.
Yeah, we did.
It's not in the roadmap. It's pretty low on the list of things we think the game needs have done to be improved. So right now it's just not on the roadmap. We understand that some of the the really engaged players, our daily core players, are looking for that because it's if you're playing a lot of FPS games, it's something that's really nice to have to improve your experience.
Yep.
But we see other areas of improvement that are going to be higher value.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't think we needed like higher FOV. I don't know why people are asking. Maybe for the iPad people, but like on mobile, I can barely see things on mobile.
Like, I'm an iPad guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm an old iPad gamer, and like my aspect ratios and my the ratio is all fucked up.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it again and again, and it's just something that like we can't get the team to focus on because they're so dialed in on what they want to do, which is really focused on game modes. So these things are important, and we want to get them to be better. And so like you guys expressing you and your team, your community expressing this opinion, it's awesome. Yeah. And it just gives us more ammo to be like, hey, people care about this. But right now we just don't see we see other lower hanging fruit to get,
Yeah, fair enough. There is another question that a lot of people are asking right now, actually. I guess it can boil down into two questions. Some people are asking, why is the loot bad? And when will it get better?
I can give you I'll give you the uncut, unedited, raw answer for that. Like, the more people that are playing the game, probably the worse the loot's gonna be for you. So it's based on averages, right?
Yeah.
So you've got the bigger population, you're gonna end up getting like a larger bell curve of loot. So that means you'll probably end up seeing more on average. It'll feel like if you're getting unlucky, you're getting shittier loot. That's because the spread is stretched out more across more players. So like that's probably why.
So more people are finding the loot instead of you.
Pretty much.
And
we'll give you guys a hint. I'll give you guys a hint. If you want to have good loot, hop into the game when the servers refresh. So hop in early. We do 5 a.m. It's 5 a.m. GMT time. So if you want good loot, hop in early. You'll get better chances of having better loot.
Wait, I didn't even know there was server refresh time. What do you mean server refresh? Like when Dickie refreshes his shop?
Yeah, like every day. Dickie's shop is every 6 hours, right?
Right.
Every 6 hours. This one is, like daily missions or weekly missions refresh on Monday, 5 a.m. GMT. So like hop in at that time every day, 5 a.m. GMT. That's when the servers refresh. And you'll see, you might have, I'm not saying you definitely get better loot. It's just your odds might be a little better because the way the system works is every day we have a certain amount of loot that we allow to be picked up. So like, check it out early. You might get your luck better.
If I don't find a secret document at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm gonna sue you, Zach.
You're gonna hop in at 5 a.m. You got it. 5 a.m. I think it's your time, right?
Yeah. 5 a.m. GMT is my time.
Okay, look out for streams Ice's 24-hour stream.
No. I'm too old for 24-hour streams now. I can't do that anymore. All right, what's the next?
Like I know, asking like similar, like why do streamers get red items more often? Totally not the case. It's because probably streamers know how to play Arena Breakout. Like they understand, like you haven't gotten a secret document.
No,
right?
I haven't.
Yeah,
You
so
blacklisted my account. I'm convinced.
You're blacklisted. Yeah,
I'm blacklisted.
But it's like, I don't know if you remember, like Darren. Darren's our team's like, he's our, we call him Gaucho. He's like the expert. He's our pro here on our team. He's always extracting with like 2 red items. And I'm like, dude, how are you doing that? It's because he knows how to play. He's always breaking into the safes. He's always looting as much as he can. And he knows how to play. Like, I'm not like that. I loot players who I kill. I'm a killer. He's a looter.
Yeah, same. I'm the worst looter in the entire game. I'm convinced. But I mean,
if you find like, hey, my luck's so bad, I never find red items. Focus on looting for like a couple play sessions and see if you have the same impression. I guarantee if you're opening like 2 or 3 safes a raid, you'll walk out with some red items very soon.
Ooh, here we go, guys. There we go. You know what? Next stream, I'm not gonna do any PvP at all. I'm just literally just gonna open safes and then we're gonna put that to the test. How about that? How about that, chat?
Just a key run.
All right. What next question do we have? Are you able to keep up with the chat, or do you want me to pull any questions on here?
I haven't seen any. It's moving fast, man.
A couple of people a few people have asked actually about, is there going to be any grindable safe or free safe at all in the future?
You know, we talked about it. We talked about trolling with a 1x1 free safe. I think that'd be pretty funny still, to give everyone a free 1x1 for a little while. But like, that's kind of how we make our money. So I understand players, like, they want that. They want to be able to basically improve the game experience, right? But like, it's not an advantage, but it makes it easier to make money, right?
Yep.
So like, it definitely makes the game feel better. So we want to encourage players to pick up a safe, and even if it's only for 7 days, try it out, see what it's like. But I understand if you're a free player or you're not trying to spend money on a game, totally get it. But you just you might miss out on that part of that benefit, right?
Yeah. I agree. Like, the game's gonna earn money somehow, right? It is a completely free game. All the modes, all the events, all the weapons, all the bullets are grindable. So I can definitely. I mean, I'd rather play a game like this than pay. And some paid games even have things like this as well. Like, premium games also have like premium transactions. Like, that makes no sense. But like, Arena Breakout is completely free, which I've been asked a lot. By the way, is it gonna be completely free to play on PC as well? I know we're not there yet, but might as well, seeing as we're on that topic.
Yeah, for sure. We're designed around gas. Like, it's a game as a service. And Arena Breakout Infinite is no different. We're gonna bring that same event energy that we have on mobile, which, like, I'm super biased because I'm part of the team, but I think Arena Breakout does events better than, like, especially game mode events, better than most mobile games. We're going to bring that energy to PC as well.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll see all those new events. It'll be, you know, for mobile players, it'll be kind of retreading some ground, because we're going to bring those to PC where maybe mobile's already seen some of them. But like, it still is fun because there's rotating game modes and new ways to play and all that.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from that then. This is a few people have asked this, and this is actually a question for myself as well, because the game is heavily or pretty much tactical, right? That's the core of the game. It's a tactical first-person hardcore extraction shooter. That's the game.
Yeah.
What is ever going to be done about the M61 bullets, if anything? Because right now there is no counter for it. If you get shot with an M61, you're practically dead, because it's such a powerful bullet. What's your thoughts on that?
And you shove them in a foul, and it's you can be pretty deadly with those, right?
Yep.
You know, we have our weapon designer, like, they know balance, and we know data analysis. So I don't know exactly if they think there's even an issue. They might think, hey, M61s are working the way they're supposed to because they're expensive as hell. And if you really want to buy a bunch and load them all into a mag, that's your risk to basically put like 50K up for grabs if someone kills you. Right?
Yeah.
So there's always that risk reward. We have a team that manages the balance. I don't know if they see it as an issue, but I can ask. I can ask our his name's David. I can ask David to see if he thinks there's a problem with it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't really need removing as such, but there are a few people that are saying maybe just don't let M61s be usable with full auto weapons, because it makes sense for like an M110, for example. It's really nice to use M61s with, and it's not like you can just run an M110 and you win every game. I think the win rate on foul with M61s it's probably a little bit higher, and also use rate is a little bit higher than the M110 because of it being a full auto weapon. Would you ever consider, I guess, banning it to be used on full auto weapons?
I don't think so. That's kind of restricting players' choices, right? Which is like a huge part of the design team here. Is they want to give players freedom of choice. So I don't think there would ever be a ban on it. It would be a balance readjustment. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? On that note, the freedom of choice, and I'm, when you said that to me first, I was then like, oh, that makes sense. So that's your goal. You want everyone to play however the hell they want. But obviously, a lot of people are saying rats, campers, are ruining gameplay experience. Is there anything being done against rats? That kind of gameplay.
Against you? Hurt you, Ice.
Huh?
We wouldn't hurt you. You're a rat, aren't you?
I'm not a rat. What do you mean? I mean, I rat every now and again just to sort of like, spice things up. But I mean, I like for me, I don't really have a specific playstyle. I love PvP. But for me, it's more, pardon me, for me, it's more entertaining people. So every now and again, I like to switch my gameplay, and instead of just pushing everything, sometimes I'll rat. But in terms of having a specific playstyle, I don't really have one. I just, as long as I'm having fun, as long as the viewers are having fun with whatever I'm doing, that's my goal. The viewer experience is my most important thing. However, there are a lot of people saying, rats are just ruining the gameplay experience. What are the devs doing about that? I'm like, I don't know.
I see King just said it. Rat is part of the game.
Yeah.
It's just annoying when you get ratted, right? I think there's all these play styles you can take, and ratting is one. You can play multiple play styles in one raid. You can be hardcore rush 'em PvP at the beginning, and then once you get that first kill, you sit back and you wait to see what happens. And that's a valid strategy. It's context dependent, and it's gameplay dependent, and it's style dependent, it's skill dependent, which is why there's all these dimensions to it. And that's why we want players to pick whatever they like. And that might be grenade spamming, which we know can be an issue. There's talk about limiting the amount of grenades, but like I just said, we don't like anything that limits people's choices. That's totally against our design principles. We don't want to limit players' choices.
Yeah.
Artificially. So ratting definitely can be annoying. Clear your corners. That's all really. Clear your corners and be careful.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I've said it myself. Rats are annoying to deal with, but look, it's a part of the game. You're not supposed to just bum rush everything, and that's me. Like, I bum rush everything. I check my corners sometimes, but it's a tactical game. Like, I feel like you said, giving that freedom to be able to play whatever you want makes sense.
Yes.
And if you don't want to get ratted, play a little slower or join the team.
Join the team. Be more cautious. Bring a bunch of stun grenades or flash grenades before you clear rooms. Like, be aware.
Yeah.
I see everyone spamming right now. Proximity chat.
Yep.
Have you seen proximity chat in the Northridge Assault game mode? Have you experienced that?
What?
You didn't even know.
I didn't even know. I thought people were tripping. I thought people were trolling me because my chat's always trolling me.
We did. We turned it on. We've always had it, by the way, and I don't mind saying this. We've always had the functionality there. It's always been available. We don't have it on because we're really worried about spamming the proximity chat and, you know, griefing. But we turned it on for your team only for the Northridge Assault, so you can hear whoever's talking.
Right. I thought you meant the enemies can hear the prox chat as well. That's what I thought you meant.
That would be the next step, and that's what I've always been a fan of. Like, can we please turn this on? This will make the game so much more interesting.
Yeah.
But I also understand the concern of if we do this, people are going to grief and spam and be really annoying.
What do you mean grief?
So, like, they're going to run around the map and never shut up.
But the thing is,
like, that's going to happen.
But the thing is, they can, but then players can just turn off all chat, like all chat on the speaker, so they don't have to listen to that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But if this is going on the fact that giving players the freedom to do whatever they want, to play however they want, because I guess that griefing can be a part of playstyle. Because like there was a time where I was in Armory, and I was the only one left, and I was in a 1v2 situation. One of the guys started spamming his gun. I think he had like an RPK. He just started emptying his mag. And I was like, why is he shooting? And because he was hiding his teammate's footsteps. So his teammate was literally sneaking on my left-hand side while he was spamming on the right-hand side. And then the guy on the left just popped out of nowhere and killed me. So that is a part of a playstyle, right? That is a tactic.
For sure, absolutely.
So therefore, bring it. Turn on Prox Chat. There you go, Chai. He signed the contract.
I want it. I've always been a fan of it. I've always said, hey, we should explore this more.
Yeah.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will, you know. I can tell you PC will be definitely be more open to this, just because at least in China, the perception in China is you play mobile games when you're not at home, when you're not in a quiet environment. And so that's why no proximity chat. They're worried that you'll be in a loud place and you'll be bothering other people. I don't know if that's entirely true for all mobile gamers around the world. But for PC, there's the perception that, just a perception, when you're at home playing on a PC, it's usually a quieter environment, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be as bothersome.
No, but the thing is, that kind of doesn't make sense, because if the prox chat, if the voice chat is loud enough, then the game might be as loud, and people just spamming grenades and shooting. That surely would be just as loud as someone screaming on the mic. But you can turn the mic down anyway, which can be lower than the game itself. I genuinely think try it for a short period of time and see what results you get.
Yeah, that's what we've talked about is, hey, let's do a limited time game mode, maybe like a solo game mode where it's kind of like imposter focused, and imposters can talk to each other, and let's see what happens. Maybe there's missions that they can complete, and we kind of encourage them to work together a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. What happens. Like,
that's nice.
That'd be fun, right?
Yo, yeah, just do a trial for Covert runs. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I mean, like, the great thing is our team is super perceptive to ideas like that. They're happy to talk about it and explore them. And so we might see something in the near future. There's also talk of like a hardcore mode where maybe there's no sound waves and
keep talking.
Voice proximity chat is on. Yeah, I know. Keep talking, and maybe there's a less UI as well. All this stuff. So there's open. Wait.
Let's roll it back a little bit. Sound prints. Will you ever at least have a game mode where there's no sound prints?
It's possible. There's a game mode that doesn't have sound prints.
Wait, is that an Easter egg?
It's not a promise. It's a possibility, and we can wait and see if that happens. You know.
Yep.
No promises here. This is all just me talking, by the way. Like,
yep.
No promises. So, I could just tell you this: all the ideas that your community has, all the hardcore gamers have, like we're hardcore gamers too.
Mm.
We think of those ideas as well. So like, trust me, whenever there's an idea of like, hey, can we stop loot goblins? I want to talk about that in a second, by the way. How do we stop loot goblins? We've got ideas on those things. And sometimes players will like those. Sometimes they might not like them.
I mean, go on, explore. I want to listen to what you've got to say about loot goblins, because that is probably the biggest problem after the rats, or maybe it's on the same level. You know, like that's one of the two things that's really always, you know, being asked on my streams. What are they going to do about loot goblins?
Well, the first question you have to ask is, what makes you say that loot is yours? You know, we're in the dark zone. This is a dangerous place. Who says that kill you got means it's your loot? Is there a rule that's written somewhere? I don't know. I never read that anywhere. So whenever people complain about loot goblins, it just makes me think, you entitled to that loot? No, I don't think you are. You don't just get the loot you get. And to people always say, oh, you can lock the loot so that, you know, it's only mine until I say others can have it. Or there's some other mechanic around that. It's like, what about the freedom of choice that we love to give players? What happens if I get a kill and my teammate wants to loot that and I'm okay with that, but I have to unlock it or something before they can get that loot and maybe grab some meds that they need or, you know, help themselves. And they're my teammate. I want that to happen, but I have to do something before that. It just makes all these barriers to looting that like we don't want. So my first reaction, are you that entitled? Every kill is your loot? Really? Second thing, there's all these usability issues that come up when you start to think about unlocking loot. Like tons of usability cases that are issues and that will make players be like, wait, why can't people are gonna go loot a body like, wait, why can't I loot it? It's the player didn't unlock it yet. It just doesn't make any sense. Like and that's why, third point, if you're worried about people looting your kills, why don't you just get some friends and play with people that you trust?
That's what I say. Like, that's exactly what I say.
That's the answer. That's the ultimate answer. It's just like, you just got to play with people you trust. And if you hate playing with randoms who steal your loot, you stop playing with randoms or you start stealing their loot. Those are the two options. Like, or you don't care about loot. Like, so I don't care about loot so much really, but that's because I get free money in the game. So,
yo, that's funny as hell. Well, that's literally what I said. That's what I said.
I just saw Zero. Zero said, or you nade them. That's where we start to take issue because it really sucks when you get team killed. Like it really sucks as a player when you get team killed. Mm-hmm. So we hate that. And we don't want people team killing and griefing each other all the time with stuff like that. So there really is a balance between freedom and
toxicity.
You know, toxicity, but you can't just turn off grenade damage for teammates because then you have nade spamming issues that come up, right? So you got to take this whole approach to it. Is like, what do we allow? What do we discourage? What do we not allow?
Yeah, because there are players that are like reverse loot goblins. So instead of taking your kills loot, quotes, they wait for you to do the loot or nade you in the extract. You know, I mean, like a soft ban or a warning or a merit deduction, it feels lackluster. It doesn't feel like it punishes enough. What have you got? You know, what have you got plans towards that? Because there are literally just people that will play randoms that will play with you until the very end and nade you.
Yeah. We're looking at it now because the current system is it's probably too lenient on team killers, and we're looking at how we can punish that behavior because we really don't want players team killing. It really makes the experience bad. And not just that, it creates a downward spiral, a spiral of toxicity. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I got naded and the person only got a merit deduction. I'm just going to nade someone next time. We don't like that. That's not fun. The game's not fun like that. So we're looking at how to up the punishment for team killers. We're looking at also some other social motivations to stop being a loot goblin. We can't stop people from loot gobbling, but we could, mark people as a known loot goblin, like put a little goblin icon next to their name or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Times.
Yeah. Yo. That would actually be a pretty cool fun idea. Yeah, like when I used to play RuneScape, and you do like a lot of player kills, and then you suddenly have this, I think it was like a red X on top of you or something like that, or right next to your name to say that you're someone that loves to grief, that loves to PK, and it just gives people, oh, that's actually really good. That's a good idea.
So like we're looking at options. Like I said, everything the community has issues with or has suggestions for, where our design team has probably thought of it, or they're going to take suggestions into consideration. They always will be like, hey, that's actually a good idea. And we are making a live service game here, and it does take time for ideas to get into the game. So like, even though it might be the best idea in the world, it's going to take 6 months to get into the game. That's just the nature of game development at this scale. It just takes time. So like, we love seeing it. We love everyone's suggestions. We have our own principles and our own ideas for what the game should be like, though, and like loot blocking people, not really cool with that. Killing players on your team, we're not cool with that. So we want to work around what we think makes the best game.
I have a question though in regards to friendly fire. Why is it that we have friendly fire on ordnance but not with bullets?
Yeah. It would be too easy if it was with bullets, right? It'd be so, like, the barrier to kill someone is just like, dead. Because that's all it takes.
I mean, I don't know, because grenades often can one-shot people. Especially the Molotovs on the spot. Like, that's easier than shooting someone, I guess, sometimes. But it's just never made sense to me why ordnance is on friendly fire, but bullets are not.
Yeah, I think it is. It's just as simple as, for our team, at least, it's as simple as it would make it way too easy to team kill and to grief if you could just shoot people and they're dead.
Yeah.
At least with a grenade, we have the takeout sound. We have the pin pull sound. So there's at least a little bit of a warning, like, hey, I might be getting TK'd in a second.
Yeah.
To give you like that little bit of, I gotta run away.
Yeah.
And then we're just thinking, like I said, those other ideas of how we could do that. A known loot goblin mark, a known team killer mark. We don't want to ban players forever, because that's bad for a service game. But like, we don't want team killers to be always team killing. So maybe you mark them as a known team killer, and people know, okay, I'm going to play away from this guy because he's got a really bad reputation or something.
But then again, like, pardon me, it is good to have that indicator that will say, yeah, this guy's a team killer, but he's still in your lobby. You've already got to worry about the bots, the players that's trying to kill you, but then now you have to worry about, oh, I've got a team killer on my team as well. I don't think that's really going to offer that much of a stretch. What do you think about that?
I mean, we talk about this every week when we do our security reports. Is like, okay, how do we remind players, like, even though you're on the same team, if they're random, you're not necessarily like teammates. Like, you're not there. They could be the enemy too that you have to kind of work with. So like, it's this balancing act of players getting squatted up with like skills and like behaviors, and also fighting the enemy that are like skill, like behavior. It's a balancing act there.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from the friendly fire stuff, there's a lot of people saying dragging bodies. I'm a big fan. I've already asked you about this question and you said maybe. Any progress?
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. It definitely would encourage teammates to work together, right? So you can see we do that a little bit now with the season 4, the latest stims, right? Where if you're holding, I think it's the purple stim, the adrenaline stim. If you're holding that and you help up a teammate, they automatically get painkillered, right?
Yep.
So like we are totally in on encouraging players to play together, because that is how you enjoy the game better, is working with people you trust and can coordinate with. So it's a good. We love the body drag. We love the idea of using a pistol when you're downed. But it is like it's all balance, right? You got to consider all the balance that comes with that.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying Scav reputation, but Zach's actually already answered this before, guys. So it goes back to... I'll let you answer it. I'll let you answer because you've got a pretty quick answer to it. Anyway, people are asking about Scav Karma system.
What did I say before about it?
You said that it's all to do with freedom. It's giving players however the hell they want to play the game. Right? Yeah. I
mean, I don't know if I told you this before. We originally, like the very original alpha versions or the Chinese beta, had Scav reputations in it.
You did not tell me that.
I don't know. Yeah, it did. It had it originally before it launched, and then when it launched, it got rid of it because the system was not doing what we wanted it to do, and that's probably because design-wise, it had a lot of different objectives, and sometimes they were competing. For example, they would have you be doing one behavior when another one would have you do another behavior. It was really not player friendly. So we love the idea of faction reputation or Scav Karma, and that has kind of taken root in the faction reputation systems that are coming in now.
But what did you have in the alpha version? So if you had bad karma as a Scav, what were the repercussions?
It would, impact the normal levers, right? It would impact the Scav aggression towards you. How easily they'd give away your position with proximity, right? It would affect your gear rolls, so you get better rolls on your Scav gear.
Yeah.
So it was, the normal things that you've seen in Tarkov, right? But it wasn't. We didn't like the design team didn't like that in its first iteration, and so they scaled it back. They cut it out basically, and they just made the contacts are just mission givers. And now with the factions, we get a little bit of that, some unlocks through your friendship with them. But as far as advancing that to be more in-game, have more of an in-game effect, I'm not sure if we will go back to that.
Yeah, I mean,
but obviously it's a cool idea.
Like you said, there's a big list of things to consider for, Scav Karma, which I didn't realize before, but as soon as we spoke about it, it makes sense, and now you've just reinforced it. I genuinely think that turning on Prox Chat just for coverts would be a massive difference. At least you can say, look, I'm friendly, don't kill me. And if the other person still kills that guy, then so be it. But just give us a little bit more, help, I guess.
I'm all in, man. I love proximity chat. I think it would make the game way more organic, way more emergent. You'd have all these moments that just it would be those console moments, right? That high-end quality moments that you don't get it in a lot of mobile games. It'd be really cool. I'm fighting the good fight. I know your audience would love that.
Yep. Content will just be absolutely insane.
It would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of people are pardon me. A lot of people are saying buff A1. Like I know you guys nerfed it. I believe the armor penetration rate got nerfed or something like that. Armor damage as well.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind the big nerf of A1? Because it was a really, really good bullet before, but now a lot of people feel like it underperforms. I mean, I have my own opinions on it, but what's yours? Like, what's your decision-making process on that?
I think it got really cheap from the TV station battles, like from a market supply perspective. So like as a tier 4 armor, it got pretty cheap. And that was probably where the name, or the initial buff came from. Is this is like the most popular bullet. And it is like a pretty nice entry point into tier 4 bullets, right? It's probably the best. I don't know all the prices off the top of my head, but it's because the bullets, the 5.56 45 offers probably the best mix of mid to long, not long range, but mid range assault rifles, right? So it's like you can work them pretty well in a lot of scenarios.
It's because a lot of people don't understand that 5.56 45 is not a big caliber bullet. It's not a 7.62 that you shove into fouls. So I think I've always said that 5.56 45s are more for accuracy than actual big damage per hit. You know, it's not something that destroys every vest. Even in real life, it's not supposed to be something that has a firepower like an AK. So I don't think A1s are that bad right now.
I don't think they're bad.
I don't think they're that bad. A lot of people are saying they are really bad. I mean, I say that they are average. They're not ultra powerful. They're not ultra weak. But I feel like I don't think it underperforms. I genuinely don't, because
I don't think it underperforms at all. I think it underperforms if you're in a high tier lobby. If you're in a T6 lobby, then yeah, obviously you're going to use a T4 and you're going to shoot a T6 helmet and you'll be like, what the hell? 3 shots to the head and they're not dead? Like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. Tier 4 against a T6. But overall, I think they're pretty decent bullets and they're at a decent price. And if you're just running a normal lobby, they're going to do their job.
So your aim for 5.56 45s, specifically, pardon me, specifically A1s. So what is it? Is it not supposed to be a high-end T4? Is it not supposed to be something that blasts through things? What is the purpose of the A1?
The A1, it's like that midpoint. It's kind of it might be a gold bullet, right? But it's kind of like a mid entry point bullet. So like, it's not going to be the best. If you want the best, you're going to have to buck up for some 955. Like that, you're going to have to spend some money on that. And every mag is going to cost you 30 plus K. Like that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, people are too broke. I see you, B Cobra, you're seen. But it's not easy out there in the dark zone. You got to work with what you got.
A few people are asking M995 sucks, M995 buff. What are your thoughts on that?
It's T5, right? It's a good bullet. Like, I don't know if it.
I don't really use it. I don't use M995, so I have no knowledge on that bullet at all.
It's really expensive, especially when you compare it to like the M61s on the 7.62 caliber. Like they're pretty expensive in comparison. And
based on what it dishes out, right? Okay.
Yeah, based on the pain it dishes out, they're pretty expensive. They're kind of like a rich boy bullet. So if you can afford it, I think anyone would always run 995s if money's not a problem for them.
Yeah.
If their coin stash is pretty high.
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know, you just run budget builds, or if you're like me, I don't buy guns or gear really. I just use whatever I pick up and I just buy bullets. So I buy 995s when I'm running a 5.56 caliber gun.
Yeah, because some people are saying M995, Kiwi is saying M995 need a one singular damage buff so it can two-shot people who are T5 or lower. It's cheaper to kill people with M61s than M995s.
Yes, for sure. That makes sense, right? Because M61s they're T6 bullet, right? So you're going to use less bullets per kill on average versus the 995. So it makes sense that it'll be cheaper on average because the 995 is relatively expensive for the damage you're putting out.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying. I guess pound for pound, it is supposed to be more expensive.
And I think maybe with the exception of the Scar, all the 5.56 rifles have higher fire rates in general, like on average. So you're going to be spitting out more bullets, which means you're probably just going to spit out more coin per shot or per spray.
But if you got a T6 M61, then you can just
you're
rip
popping
through.
Shots.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, that actually
you're
does make sense.
Shots, or you're either single shotting, or you're already pretty good and you have good recoil control. So you just 2 or 3 shots, they're already down.
Fair enough. Okay. No, look, these guys are going to ask questions all day. So you tell me how long you want to be spending on mobile.
No, that's what King just said. King said the thing is 995 is more expensive than other T5 bullets. And like, yeah, he's right. That's why it's a rich boy bullet. If you can afford them, you're going to buy them because they're better, but it doesn't make them the optimal choice.
Right. Yeah, so when would you want to move on to ABI? Because I know you wanted to kind of touch upon that.
We can caress ABI from afar with our eyes, you know, we can dream about it.
Yeah.
And maybe give it a cat call or two. I'm super excited to play it.
I've literally had to upgrade my PC. Like I had to empty out my bank account to get it to get a nice PC to push it out. I mean, what other questions do you guys have for the mobile before we go on to ABI? Because this is a mobile, you know, Arena Breakout mobile focus stream. So if you guys have any more question, what else do you have? Oh, night vision. A lot of people are saying night vision.
Night vision.
Yeah, night vision goggles, night vision scopes.
Yep. We're aware of the want and the probably need for night vision options, especially with some, you know, darker game modes. We're looking at ways, some event modes that can fulfill that need, because it would be fun playing in the dark or playing with that you know, iconic green night vision field of like that view. That would be really cool. So we're obviously looking into that, because that would be, you know, one part of being an expert operator. You put on the goggles, you hear the wee as they wind up, and you feel like a badass.
Yeah. I mean, why was there not an NVG inserted into the game anyway? Because that's like one of the most, you know, famous, I guess, items that you can have in the milsim kind of gaming or in the military. I like before, to be honest, before I played AB, I didn't really know much about thermal imagers, but I knew a lot about night vision goggles and what they can do and stuff. So I'm wondering why choose thermal rather than NVGs.
Thermal's easier to do. The thermal effect is literally what's the word? A shader on top of your vision. It's easy.
Oh.
It's much simpler to do. Whereas if you have a night vision goggles, it's at night, right? You have to use them at night, otherwise it's just white.
Yeah.
With night modes, it's actually very performance taxing on a mobile phone. Like even if you have a high-end device, your device will start warming up pretty quickly in a night mode. So that's why
really?
I don't have a night mode yet. Yeah, it's very performance taxing.
Oh, there you go, guys. I actually didn't know. I thought thermal was more taxing than night mode because of like heat seeking.
Thermal's a shader. Thermal's a shader, and we have obviously our thermal's not perfect. Like you can see heat through the glass, right? If you're really using a thermal, you won't get that effect as prominent unless the person's like really close to the glass. So it's not perfect. It is just a shader on top of the game and how it's rendering the players or the objects that will glow. So it's just easier to do the thermal. Night vision in the night mode, that'll be really performance taxing, and players' phones will cook eggs. And
wow, I didn't know that at all. Like I didn't realize how much of a system resource it's going to be to add that into the game.
Yeah,
there you go, guys.
Would be very intense. It would be fun. I don't think everyone would know. It'd be really fun.
Solo only lobbies. Any chances of that?
It's an idea, right? Solo versus solo. I see Contract Killer OP is saying that. Like that would be more if we did a solo mode. It would be solo versus solo. We know some players want to be lone wolf. We have data to show that that does not. If that's what you want, you already know what you want, sure. But if you don't know what you're doing and you go in solo, you're gonna hate. Most players are gonna hate it. We have proof, like data that shows that.
Wow.
So, but if it was just solos on solos and there was like 20 people, like I said, like a scav mode, scav only mode, and there's prox chat on it, that would be pretty cool. That would be interesting. So,
yeah, because right now, if you go in solo, you'll face squads.
Yeah,
right?
You'll face squads, and that sucks because you're totally outnumbered. I know some players like that, but it does suck to be like, I got 3 of them, and then the last guy got me. But that's why we want you to play in squads for the most part, is because it's a squad-based game.
Yeah. Oh, someone's asking. Well, there's actually quite this. I might as well ask my question with this. Someone was asking the bayonet, whatever you want to call it, which is obviously like a knife in front of your gun, right?
Yeah.
I might as well ask on that note, if you would consider that, would you ever do
That's a war
weapon melee? You know, like a butt hit. Like if you got an assault rifle, and then like you can hit with a butt, and that's like a melee effect rather than having to switch to the knife.
I mean, that sounds awesome. It would be great, especially when you're shooting someone and like, you know, your gun. What's the term? You get jammed up and your gun goes sideways, right?
Yeah,
like that would be cool to just like push people off.
Yes,
instead. Like I like that idea. I think that's really cool. It would be harder to implement, you know. Like you got to think about when. Is that a separate button? Is it context dependent? If it is context dependent and I'm already shooting, then the other person's going to have that pop up too. So you're just going to end up pushing each other. And what happens then? So it's, you know, you have all these contingencies that you have to think of when you implement a design decision like that. But that doesn't mean that it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And it definitely would make it very interesting for close quarters combat.
Yeah. By the sounds of it, then it's not something that you've even talked about with a team yet,
No.
Damn,
no.
That's going to be a long time.
It's been discussed. It's like a thing that we've talked about, and we are a gun-based game. The melee is there to give you, you know, you whip out your melee for that speed advantage, right? You whip out your melee when you run out of bullets and you need that last minute, just a couple swipes to get the kill. That's what the purpose of melee right now. To expand melee and to mix it with guns it just brings up a lot of questions on how to implement it.
Yeah. Because it would definitely be going down the realism route. Because realistically, you can hit someone with a weapon, right? And I think you should be able to.
For sure.
But you mentioned earlier, like, gun jamming. Is that even a thing? Is that a thing right now? Please tell me it's a thing right now.
It's, I've seen random clips of people and their guns jamming.
Yep, me.
And yeah, it's happened. It's something we have built into the game, and it sneaks in through some bugs every now and then because it should be turned off. So that's the thing when you get a game like this where there's like 70 different weapons and there's all these different things happening, stuff sneaks in. And that's one of them.
I knew it! I knew it wasn't skill issues. I swear to God. Because sometimes I'll be pushing, right? And then I'm literally holding down my shoot button and it will just jam. You can literally hear it. You can hear it click. It goes like click and then it stops shooting. So it's actually a thing that sneaked into the game.
There's a whole durability system that's turned off, and it's turned off, but bugs still sneak in now and then. There's just too many variables involved. So we had the durability system built in. We didn't like it. It complicated things. It took the focus away from gunplay. So we did took it out. But you know, there's artifacts.
Whoa. Oh, I can't believe it. I actually don't feel so bad about myself anymore. Thanks, Zach.
No problem. Every time skill issue, just like
I'm going to use that as an excuse. Every time I get killed, gun jammed, it's a bug. God dang. All right, what do we have here, guys? What do we have? What other questions do we have?
saw one, I forgot the name, sorry, but asking about like, do I know scavs in Armory or TV station, I guess as well. And it's just, you know, it would scavving is free equipment. And if you're not scavving, which I think most players who are in your community, most players are scavving at least once or twice a day, right?
Yep.
It's a potential for a free payout. So it's you know, you got to balance that a little bit. If you throw them on Armory and TV station, which have effectively in season 4 received a bump with like the strength and lockdown zone. The what are they called? The forbidden zone now.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean a buff? In what terms?
Like they've got like those modes. There's the really high entry requirements. 80k gear. I think it's 30k coin entry fee.
15.
15
on the forbidden zone. No, that's the original versions though. The new versions are the nerfed versions.
Yes, but they are relatively the highest by a lot now. And it's the loot's gonna be guaranteed better. Like if you're not playing that and you're poor, you should. And if you're a betting person, bet the odds, play the statistics, and play those modes. You'll get more. You'll get more out of it as long as you're not dying.
Door kicking. That's a good one.
That's another good idea. Doors in video games suck. Really hard to mess with doors.
Why is that?
There's all these physics involved that when you go into the details of, okay, open door. What if there's something behind the door? Okay, that's gonna mess up how it opens. Is it gonna stop all the way? Is it gonna push back that item or that person or that player?
Take damage.
Is it gonna take damage?
Yeah.
So like the way the game is designed right now would be really hard to get door kicking in. It's just not built in to be like that. Or destroying, I like that idea. That's a great idea because we have wall banging.
Yeah,
wall banging right now. So it would be great to like you could just keep shooting it and it just gets destroyed after a while. That may happen soon because makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It follows from shooting the door. You can shoot through it, and the door will eventually be filled with holes.
Yeah. I actually didn't think about that. I just wanted to be able to kick a door open, and I never thought that like how much things it could happen when you kick a door or when you.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Like just bust in the door. That would be so awesome.
Imagine killing someone by busting a door and they had like 1 HP and you kick the door at them and you kill them. That'd be awesome. That would actually be content right there. This is one of the things that's. Like moving on from that because this is getting spammed right now. Improved shooting range.
Yes, on the roadmap. Again, it's one of those questions of like a prioritization, because we know players want it. We know it needs to be there. We're not a team of like infinite people, so it's you guys pick. I'll give you the choice, Ice. New map. Or a new shooting range? What do you choose?
I would say new shooting range.
What?
Yep. Because a lot of people are not going to agree with this. We've got one shooting range and 6 maps. And those 6 maps offer completely different playstyle from the other, right? What we need is a place where we can polish our guns, our gun skill, our movement, our aim, sensitivity, because right now, yes, we can practice the MP5s, maybe some assault rifles, but sniping, like I'm having to literally aim at the tower on the far back and that little metal piece on the tower to try and hit it instead of the actual target itself. So I feel like 6 maps is plenty, like plenty for different playstyles, different scenery, different vibe. But the practice range really needs rework.
There could always be more. There could be 7 maps.
I know there could, but we've got
you
one.
You can practice your sniping on Northridge, a across the pond or the lake or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is, practicing in this game, practicing and testing is very, very brutal in a real game. You lose everything. If you haven't got your sensitivity and you want to practice in the real game and you get killed, how many times do you want to practice? Like, it's nice to have a better training ground, because then people become better. People become more comfortable. People become more happy about, like, oh yeah, I understand this gun. They play a game, they get a successful raid, they're happy, they play again because they're happy and they're playing again. Rather than, oh, I'm practicing in a game, oh, I'm getting shit on all the time. Practice again, lost another 100K. I don't want to practice anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So that's my. I'm speaking from a background of, I like teaching. I like helping people improve. I love watching people improve, and giving that practice tool where they don't lose money would be a very, very good thing to have, because it helps them get better without losing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. And that makes total sense, because it's like you said, it's a safe space, and you don't have to put everything at risk to try out that new thing that you just got.
Yep.
I totally hear that. Like, we have it in the roadmap. We know it's wanted. We know it's needed. It's just a question of when. So I will tell you now, our team is more partial to making new maps and new game modes.
Yeah, of course. I understand.
It's a balancing act.
Yeah, I understand that bit. Custom room matches. This gets asked like every time. Yeah,
we love it. You know, it would be awesome. It's just there's vulnerabilities when you allow players to check out any map they want with no rules. It creates vulnerabilities, and that's something that our design team is really not skeptical. It's the wrong word, but they're very worried about opening themselves up to vulnerabilities. We don't want players, searching every corner of the map, finding glitches, ways to get out of the map, and that's one aspect of why there's no custom rooms. Second is server costs, because whenever a custom room is opened, that's a room on a server that needs to be opened up. So we got to take that into consideration. There's ways you can get around that. You can make it a paid feature, right? Yep. You could literally just limit it, which is one method we're looking at. And then third is, you want to ask, how representative is a custom match of our gameplay, our core gameplay? I think there's a lot of fun things that could come out of a custom room. Like, you could start a small map, melee only fight with with all your friends, with rules. Or with, I mean, it'd be amazing for a content creator, right, like yourself. Absolutely, it'd be amazing for you to just open a room up and be like, hey, we're getting 30 people in here, grenades only, and just have a blast. We've had all these talks, and it's a balance right now of how to get it working, because some things the team are really wary about. They don't want to open themselves up to vulnerabilities. Yeah. I mean, there is one route that you can, one or two routes that you can, is to obviously pick specific creators and give them access for their community when you want it to be held. So you can be there to actually moderate things yourselves as devs and look at, responses, what issues and stuff. So not just right here, you can use it whatever you want. It's like, okay, so I'm going to give you customs access, but you need to do it on this day, on this time, so we can look at it. That's one thing. Yeah. Or you can contact, event organizers, tournament organizers, and get them to hold events for the community, because it's good to have a choice of, like you said, going into a lobby and just grenades only with your mates, because that brings extra layer of fun, right? Another way of fun. Also, for the competitive folks, people are getting bored of just doing the same thing of looting and looting and looting. Some of them actually want to face the best players in the game, in the same lobby, in the same rules, and go against each other. So, giving access to like specific tournament organizers that you trust, that you can trust, wouldn't be a bad idea. The route we're going now is we're taking custom rooms essentially and observation and free cam, ghost mode basically. We're just taking that into another tournament version. So that's when if you ever watched any of the esports which you've participated in, it's a separate version of the game technically.
It is completely, yep.
Yeah. And so like it totally works for competitions. But to get a community involved with that, okay, hey guys, everyone download this extra version of Arena Breakout. That's like, it would work for some players, right? But there's not a perfect solution right now, unfortunately. Because I agree with you. I think custom rooms would make this the content scene for Arena Breakout. It would really help out. But it's tough to convince.
I definitely wouldn't go down the route of it being a completely separate download, completely separate APK, because obviously there are games that have the custom lobbies built into the game already, and there was also a game that I used to play that we had to request access from the devs to open a lobby. You know what I mean? So even if it's built in the game, we still need a creator code or a room lobby card to actually open a room. That should be a route that you guys should take if you're ever gonna release custom lobbies into the public.
Yeah, I think that's if it ever gets into the online version, it'll be that route where it's here's a creator code or here's like a room pass, and you can invite people for that, and it's a really limited amount. Yeah, I think it would be that route.
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. There is one thing that really does get drowned in this game. That just get left behind. Clans. Do you guys have any?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with the clan system? I don't even understand why it's only 5 squads of 15 members. Or like what's going on with the clan system?
It's an abandoned child of a feature right now. Like, it's a sad little feature that just hasn't gotten the love it needs. It could be really cool, right? Where you have a clan and you do weekly matches. You can up your clan, like a longer term version of the Loot Derby or a subset of that, something like that. It could be really cool. It just hasn't gotten the love it needs, which is unfortunate. But priorities. We have as far as big mobile games go, we're not big, and we do have a smaller team. We're not small, but we're not even close to some of the biggest ones. Like we're definitely not PUBG mobile sized team. Yeah. And it just that limits us in what we can do, and we got to be more focused in how we do it. Yeah. So for now, it's on modes and maps is what we see the most value in, and building out all the experiences that players can get.
Honestly, I don't think it needs. I don't think it needs a massive revamp. I think there are 2 things that you need to do for clans. People might agree, people might not agree with me. Is 1, just forget about the divisions of 15 members in 5 squads or whatever. Just give us 1 clan and we can have 50 members or whatever number you feel is good. A big amount of numbers so we can have a big community in that clan. And 2, just give us clan missions. Like the weekly missions. Yeah. That's it. Just a big clan and missions to do. So if someone's going to come into my clan and they want to stay in it, they have to do the missions to join to join the clan, and then the clan gets clan XP. That's it. If you're not doing the missions, if you're not contributing, you're out. You know what I mean? That's it. Just 2 things.
I think the 2 things, just to build on them even more. Yeah. You can have more members, and there's just some simple way to show you're in this clan. That would be cool. Like a badge. Like a badge. Like you can take like a badge. You can take, once you're in the clan, you can put that badge on your operator.
Oh, that is sick. Like an arm patch, like a patch, like an actual
Exactly.
patch.
Look, we have the badges. We have the badges right now. Like, the badges are in there.
So yeah.
Take that from clan and put it into the badge system. Oh. And then I'd like what you just said with the missions. I'd take it even further. You allow the clan leader every week to like say, hey, we need this item. And then only like players have to submit that item or that series of items to get points or something, to build up some community. And they can only be no operation marker supplies on them, so they got to be taken out of a raid.
Yep.
To make it a little more interesting.
Yeah. Because people are saying now clan wars, that'll be insane. But that's a completely big different thing.
That's the next step.
Yeah, that's the next step.
That you do that once players understand clans and see the value in clans and are interested in them. And that would be really fun as well, though.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what do we have? What do we have? Chat? How long do you have, Zach?
How long has it been already?
An hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
It's almost 10. It's 10 o'clock here. So you guys got some more questions?
Yeah.
Like, let's hear them.
Oh, when will we be driving cars? Rix is asking on Twitch. When will we be driving cars?
Cars? Sounds like a shitty idea, man. Who's gonna have cars in Arena Breakout? What are you talking about?
Why are you teasing, bro? This guy.
I'm not. It just said it's a terrible idea. Like, no,
but
we're not gonna have cars.
It's already in CN version.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. People are saying it's in the CN. I actually haven't seen it properly. But you know what? A lot of people have seen it. A lot of people have seen it. You guys don't make it easy because of the CN version.
It's you know, with the China version, it makes operating a game, because that's what we're doing. We're operating a game in 2 different regions at 2 different paces. And one of our goals has been to there's different versions of the game.
Yeah.
One of our goals has been to get the versions aligned, because that will make our lives much simpler when it comes to development. And we're getting very close to aligning our versions. So that'll be really cool when we're able to do that.
Right. Okay. Snow mode again. Zach's answered this before.
Remember, Eming answered that. Eming gave you a good answer.
Go and watch my previous interview, guys, because we're not going to keep answering the same questions. Controller support. Any plans on that?
We know there's players who want it. There's players who need it. It's just a question of fairness, right? And making sure it works well. That's the hardest one, is making sure it works well. I think as far as fairness goes, I don't think controllers give anyone an advantage. And it won't in our game as well, even if we did an amazing job.
I mean, it can and it cannot. It just depends on how you guys develop it into the game. Specifically speaking, aim assist. Aim assist, yeah. It's always aim assist. Anytime anyone mentions controller, it's always aim assist. If the aim assist is too strong, keyboard and mouse player, mobile players just get shit on by controller players. So if you can get a fine balance of having a not so powerful aim assist, then I don't think controllers would be a problem in this game. But it really is just, I'm guessing it's a hard thing to balance the aim assist on controllers.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing, is it's tough to get it right. And it can be done. It's already in the game in a really shitty version, like a really shitty iteration of it. Very basic support. And we just don't offer it because we haven't had a focused person or someone with the experience to get controllers working. Because we're a mobile first developer with Arena Breakout right now. So we know their players want it. We know it would be nice to advance the player base a little bit and get more console players to be like, hey, a mobile game, this looks all right, and try it out. We don't have the resources for it right now. We don't have the experience for it, to be honest.
Yeah, because you guys are just focusing on mobile, right?
Yeah.
Which is actually really good. Don't run before you can walk. I think it's a good idea. Because if you ever dropped a controller support lobby with the same lobby as mobile and the AA is too powerful, that is going to be insanely hard to deal with, because I've had that in games like COD Mobile where it just sticks to the target. I agree.
We don't want to have what did I play recently? Bloodstrike. I was amazed at the aim assist on Bloodstrike when I first shot somebody.
What do you mean? It just sticks. Yeah.
It was not Free Fire levels, but it was like, and
really?
like, oh, okay. That's how that works.
Yeah, I remember actually. I remember when I first played that in the beta stages. I was shooting someone at the bottom of the zip, and the guy went up the zip, and it just followed him up. I didn't even even touch. I didn't even move my controls. It just followed him up the zip. But yeah,
it wasn't as bad as Free Fire, where it's like you can basically snipe people from across the map just by holding the shoot button. But I was kind of surprised that because it's like Bloodstrike's positioning itself as kind of like a hardcore game, right? Like it looks like a competitor for Warzone, and it gives you that same kind of action vibe. But it was really sticky auto aim. We definitely don't want that if you're using a controller in Arena Breakout.
Yeah, fair enough. Movement wise, in the game, someone's asking inertia.
Yes.
Is that something that you guys are exploring? You do, not do? Where are you at with that?
We don't have a built-out inertia system. There's a lot of physics involved with that.
Yep.
I think you'll see more of it in Arena Breakout Infinite, where there will be some more of inertia effects.
I was literally going to ask you that. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see a lot more of that in Infinite, where it makes more sense, to be honest.
The sway and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense with Infinite. But for Arena Breakout Mobile, it's we kind of like the ground we're treading right now.
Yeah,
we're hitting a nice
I was going to ask, do you like where you're at with mobile? Because honestly, inertia on mobile, A, that would be system hungry as hell. And B...
It could be, yeah.
And B, I just don't think it matches the, mobile play style of the community.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, like that's interesting about ABI.
Have you felt it? The nerf in the jumping?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
With Season 4, it definitely got nerfed. It still has its place, but it's not there like it was.
I definitely can't hit my shots anymore any less than I normally do when I'm jump shooting. Yeah. So I felt the difference, even on like guns like MP5 when I'm hip firing, and it just goes all over the place, which is a good move. Very, very good move.
Yeah, it was definitely overpowered for a while.
Yeah. What else do we have here, guys?
I saw
LMG. Yeah, a lot of people are asking about LMGs, because we only got one. What's going on with that?
There could be more. There might be a few more coming up. LMGs, it's a fun gun, that's for sure. But if you spam that thing, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. So it's with great power comes great responsibility.
Come on, Spidey boy! I love that. On that note, would they ever come with like bipods or anything that you can place down while you're proning, and then I don't know, because obviously LMGs typically have bipods, right?
Yeah, they do. That would be pretty nice. It might open up strategies for holding positions or setting up kill positions.
Yeah.
Where you have a killing field, and I think that sounds like some good team play potential.
Ooh,
so
like a heavy gunner
position. It could happen. Yeah, heavy gunner position. We've talked about trying to get players more aware of when you're setting up your equipment. You can be a heavy gunner. You can be a sniper,
like a juggernaut.
You can be a DMR. You can be a juggernaut. You can be the rusher. We're trying to get players more aware of that stuff. And how do you do that? You do that through lots of different equipment types and that freedom of choice.
Because snipers right now need that too, because you can prone with a sniper and you drain stamina a lot slower when you're proning and aiming in the ADS. But then there comes a point, would you ever add bipods for snipers? And if so, what would I even give? Like, would your stamina just never drain? Because we don't have the sway right now, right? I mean, I guess when your stamina runs out, you don't sway with a bipod?
No. I don't know if you had a bipod, if there'd be no sway, because like the point of the bipod is to stabilize while sustaining fire.
Right.
So I don't know if there'd be no sway. Yeah, the recoil, exactly. Damping your recoil significantly. Like you got to balance that for sure. But when it comes to a sniper with or at least with the stamina drain, like that just makes sense. And it was a good decision, I think, for not just for snipers, because sometimes you're in a position, you're like, this guy's right here and I got to hold. He might peek at any time. So like you lay down and you hold it for longer, and you have an advantage with ADSing for a long time.
Because I've seen on ABI on PC that you can hold your breath when you're ADS sniping. So how different are the mechanics on PC? Would you say, like, in a few words?
I think it's built out. It's these features that bring the game closer to realism, which we don't like that word. Not just me, but Eming also does not like that word when describing Arena Breakout. We don't like realism because our goal is not realism. Our goal is immersion. And on PC, a lot of those built out features bring you closer to an immersive experience. So that's like you just mentioned, you can hold your breath. Yeah. There's inertia. It brings you into the game more. Yeah. There's I don't know the term, but when you get shot at, there's the bullet sound effects are a lot better in ABI, and you'll have some of that blurred vision that comes up. Like,
I can't wait.
It really brings you into the game.
Because
on mobile, not all of those make sense.
Yeah, I never liked the word realism, especially in video games, because people are always moaning about, that's not realistic. This skin's not realistic. First of all, Bruce Lee is not a fictional character. He was alive, and so are nunchucks. So, you know, and in terms of like realistic, I don't see people moaning about, oh, why am I able to pop 7 painkillers and run when my legs are broken? Yeah. Because it's a game. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's a game. Exactly. There just comes a point where it's just not realistic to be realistic in a game. So I actually like that immersion. That's a really good word.
We're on the same wavelength with that. It's like, does realism mean fun? Not really. If that's what you want, you can go play Airsoft. You can go join the army, or you can play like Arma or something. Like,
yeah. Fair play. Fair play. Ghillie Suits. Oh my God. Why am I getting Ghillie Suits spammed in my chat? Zach, take it away.
Might be something coming up soon. No, the Ghillie Suit. Although
my lips are
we talking Ghillie Suit or Ghillie Suit? You know?
Oh, chat.
If you've watched, have you watched the new shorts that came out recently?
Yep. I don't know what know what I'm allowed to say, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Watch the new shorts. They're produced really well. Our team did an amazing job with those. And you'll see some hints at what might be coming.
Oh, here we go. All right, I guess, you got time for one more question?
Yeah, let's do it. I gotta get some water after this, though.
Yeah, no problem. All right, chat. Reload while running. We've already got that for the Glock 18C. Pistols, basically. You can
makes sense for pistols.
But is that not something that you're going to do with...
What do we mean by reloading? Are we talking about filling our mags or switching mags?
Switching mags, I'm guessing.
Switching mags, it makes some more sense. It probably would make sense to speed that up a little bit, because it slows you down a lot right now.
Yeah.
But as far as filling mags go, no way.
No. You'll lose fingers. Yeah, you'll trap fingers and whatnot trying to shove 7.62s in those pound mags. Now you'll lose a finger or two there while you're sprinting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I saw Amico just say like fast loaders. Like, okay, there's some ideas there. I think the main thing that we like about the current way it's designed is reloading. There's a cost to it. So you balance that cost to reload your mags, to refill your mags. You balance that cost with how many mags you want to bring with you. And we kind of like that balance right now. It's at a good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, to wrap up, what do you want to say about Arena Breakout on mobile, and also anything that you want to say about the Arena Breakout PC? Take it away.
I mean, just gotta say thank you. Thank your fans, the community. You guys are amazing. We're gonna keep bringing out more and more amazing stuff this year. Just wait until our anniversary version is coming up in July.
Woo!
And yeah, it's gonna be wild. There will be a lot of fun. And
am I flying to China again for that?
I hope so, man. That'd be awesome. Like,
yeah,
it's great every time you're able to get here, and it'll be even more fun if we can do some awesome stuff with the season 5. So there is some really fun things coming. And then as far as ABI goes, like, I'm pumped. We're 2 different teams, so I'm
told you guys
it's 2 teams, so I'm mostly in the dark on ABI. So I'm excited as well. I can't wait to play it and get really deep into the game.
Good. Yeah, I told you guys. It was gonna be...
I hope I see you and everybody else in there too.
Yeah. Well, look, thank you so much for coming through anyway. Like I said, you're a celebrity in this community. Everyone loves you, man. You got to stop stream sniping me though, Zach.
Yes, I'll try. It's too easy. You make it easy.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You run around the map and it's like this guy sounds like he's running with cinder blocks on. I know it's you every time.
No shot. Well, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. See you in ABIPC on Wednesday then.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll see you later.
See you later, man.